Yo, what's good, Josh? Your boy J Suave. I'm the host of J Suave TV. Now, y'all may or may not hear that intense rain going on in the back. Just bear with it real quick as I get through this episode recap. I just got done watching the episode and I can confirm this was another great episode of the show. I don't know how this season consistently manages to get better with every episode. They doing the damn thing with these storylines. Now with every episode, you go have your gripes with certain shit that happens throughout. But there's one storyline this episode that I just cannot forgive. I'll get to that at the beginning of this video, but before I do that, y'all already know what y'all gotta do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. And let's talk about why the hell these showrunners decided to give Jada cancer again. I know I said last week or the week before that Jada needed some type of storyline this season. Otherwise, she was about 4 or 5 seconds from getting written off the show. But I didn't think it was gonna be like this. How would y'all write her to have cancer earlier on in the series, then beat the cancer only to give her cancer again on a more fatal level? I don't know, to me they kind of dragged it with that. It just sucks because this episode we focusing on Darnell's birthday and then he got to hear this news by the end of it. It's really unfortunate because next to Keisha and Emmett, I really do love Jada and Darnell's relationship. Fans who've been watching the show forever already know the trials and tribulations that these two have went through to get to their union in the present day. So it really is unfortunate to see Jada in this state. I don't even know how Darnell is feeling right now or how Emmett's gonna feel when he gets this news. Yeah, it's just a storyline I really don't like. Y'all could have gave Jada anything else to do, but to give her cancer again after she already beat it. I get that these are real things that could happen to anybody, but at the end of the day, this is a TV show. You can write these characters to do anything. So yeah, I don't know. Just unfortunate that's the decision to decide to make. Speaking of Emmett though, we gotta talk about Emmett and Keisha. So off the episode with Emmett trying to get some play from pregnant Keisha, but she not going. She's tired, bro. On top of carrying the baby, she gotta take care of 3 more running around her house, some of which are not even hers. I'm trying to alleviate her stress. Emmett decides to get a hotel room for them, get away from the kids and focus on them. It's cool vibes at first, but then Keisha gets a call from the nanny. And of course, she's listening to what the nanny's saying, making sure the kids is good. You got Emmett in the back just annoyed, bro. So annoyed, he literally told Shorty to hang up. That's what I be talking about. This nigga Emmett do not be concerned about his kids, bro. That's why we going on 1, 2, 3, multiple seasons at this point, not seeing some of his kids. It's in this scene we see his selfish tendencies on full display. And Keisha not listening to none of this. Like, God forbid I want to be a good mom. Talking about, I feel like you always be there for the kids. You never got time for me. Like, 1, them kids gotta come first. They cannot support themselves. And 2, some of them kids are not even hers. All she's trying to do is show them as equal of an amount of love as she possibly can. And he's just not getting it. But thankfully, they end up coming together later on in the episode after Darnell has a conversation with Emmett. Just telling him to be there to support Keisha and basically going back to his relationship with Jada. And it took him a long time to realize that Jada was the love of his life. Just saying he knows better now that he's never gonna let her go. Which is sad when you know the context of what happened at the beginning of this episode. But yeah, as much as I dislike Emmett, as much as I've been wanting to go in on, bro, I do like seeing him and Keisha thriving and doing well, so I'm gonna give him a pass on this episode. I also see Emmett have to deal with Damien's ass in this episode. As we know, last week, Damien got caught up in some gambling troubles again. Not only does he owe Emmett from that $3K that he gave him to pay off Hannibal, but because he wanted to double up on that spades game they was playing, he now still owes Hannibal that $3,000. Hannibal comes to collect, he don't got it, he's asking for a couple weeks. Hannibal will say, nigga, you got a couple days. Keith overhears this and comes up with the bright idea to tell Damien to basically rob Emmett. Borrow the $3K and pay it back when he gets it back. Like, Emmett's not gonna notice $3K missing from his stash. It would have been one thing if Emmett never gave you that $3,000 last week, but you go take another $3K from this nigga? See, and this is why I was telling Darnell he had no business having them two work in the same establishment, much less bringing in Keith too. Because now look at this, you got Damien here, you got Keith here, and Keith is putting in these words in Damien's head to fuck over Emmett's business essentially. Not like that's what he's trying to do, but that's what he's doing. You taking money out of Emmett's pocket. Luckily for him, he's able to pay Hannibal back, but then he gets to talking to Reg, talking about there's money to be made in gambling, and Reg gets to asking what apps he be betting on. And Hannibal this whole time is just telling Damien to leave. Do not be associated with Reg. That's another problem you don't want. Of course, the nigga has a built-in Yapatron 3000 within him. He feels the need to put Reg on. This definitely cannot come back on him in any type of way, right? Later on in the episode, Emmett confronts Damien like, where's the bread at? When he comes clean, like, look, I doubled up on this spades tournament and ended up owing bro another $3,000. And so Emmett fires him on the spot, but then he snitches on Keith, telling Emmett that Keith was the one who put it in his head to begin with to take the $3,000 out of the secret stash. And then he fires Keith. Now listen, I'm not the biggest Keith fan. I don't really like or dislike Jackie Long's character on the show, but that man got hold, bruh. It's a damn shame. Damien need to watch his back, because y'all already know he go have Reg on his case when he start losing bets. And now Keith is once again building that scorn towards Damien. He got legit ops in the show now, and that will not be good for Emmett or Smokies. No sir. We got a scene of Reg, Jake, and Hannibal, and they're trying to figure out who the hell would have put out the hit on Reg. It casually brings up the fact that it probably was Alicia who did it. Now he has Alicia on his radar officially. After learning this information, he tells Jake for some reason to let the mob know that if any suspicious cars come rolling through around his crib, to shoot them on sight. Nuck literally tells Jake after he does this to let Reg know to talk to him if he needs anything from the mob. And I understand you just got shot at last episode, so you're more cautious than you have been throughout this season. But Nuck already knows you're alive, so why would you even risk Jake's life like that? Especially because according to you, he's the only person you trust. My thing is, you don't really know if you could officially trust the mob like that. What if it was Nuck that sent a hit out on you yesterday? What if Bakari was the one who encouraged him to do it? Knowing that Bakari and Jake mess with each other in his mind, I could have been sending Jake to his death quite literally. Later on in the episode, Jake relays the information back to Reg that, look, Nuck says if you want anything with the mob, you gotta go talk to him personally. He gonna tell Jake after this, so you just gonna let that light-skinned nigga punk you. Brother, that conversation had nothing to do with Jake. All you told him to do is tell the mob to look out in case anybody suspicious comes rolling around his crib. That request didn't include pleading with Nuck to make sure that happened. I don't know, if you gonna be the boss of the mob, I just feel like you gotta move like a boss. Like, you feel me? Also get this other scene of Reg visiting the ring bearer at Jamal and Dom's wedding. I forget his name. I guess he was considering getting into the shrooms business or trying shrooms himself. I don't know why he was there exactly, but it was looking like he was about to go back-to-back episodes taking people's girls. That gotta be a shot record. Prime Emmett ain't even pulling shit like that off. We also get the scene of Reg and Shad getting together for the first time since like season 2, and he basically confirms to Reg that Alicia was the one who sent Shad to him. Reg asks if that's his lady. He says not anymore. I just work security for her. Reg like, that's what we do now. And Shad's like, I gotta look out for myself at this point. Ain't nobody else go do it. But that's when Reg tells him, I don't forget what you did for me when I was younger. I'll always see you as family. And Shad gets to telling him that he wishes him and Trig did a better job of raising him up right. Reg says he did the best he could, and Shad says clearly it wasn't enough. I think the acting in this scene was very good between both of them. Now, at least we know where Shad's allegiances is going forward, because he officially leaves Alicia behind in this episode. We gotta clap it up for Shad, y'all. At long last, he's leaving Alicia where she's at. I know y'all seen how sick she was when he left that house. He tried to get that boy to stay with her body. Get the fuck up out of here. But Kendrick said, it's not enough. Reg about to come after you and you ain't got no security to defend you. I wish I could say I feel bad, but I don't. Because you got Jamal shot up and in the hospital. So now we gotta talk about Lene, Dom, all of them. Because we see Alicia pull up to the hospital to give them the funds to support Jamal's surgery. But before that, we get Lene and Dom pondering, what if Jamal don't come back from this comatose state that he's in? Dom is like, I'm just gonna have to look after you at the end of the day. And Lene's like, I don't want you. I want my family. I'm like, damn, I thought we got over this shit last episode, Lene. Like, I know this is a lot she has to go through. This is her blood brother that's in the hospital right now fighting for his life. But at the end of the day, like Dom said, she's your family now, whether you like it or not. Not all families built the same, but I do respect Dom taking on this assignment of being like, look, if shit happened with Jamal, I'm gonna take care of you. And I also like how the episode expanded on their relationship more in this episode, because we could have easily just focused on Jamal, just seen them sitting in the hospital waiting to hear an update. But we get some more intimate moments between the two of them. Really reminded me of the relationship that Gemma was forming with old girl that her father was messing with in the last season. I'm definitely looking forward to more of these interactions, maybe learning more about Dom. I feel like we were finally breaking into that ice with Dom, but then shit kind of veered off course. So hopefully we get more about her as the season progresses. Yeah, basically Lene tells Dom she don't trust Alicia, but Dom is just like, bro, we just gotta take this blessing and keep it pushing. Now I see it from both perspectives. Obviously we know the shot. We know favors do not come without expectations with them. But at the same time, this lady's willing to pay for Jamal's surgery. We know we don't got it like that to do that. So just take the blessing and don't entertain none of their shenanigans going forward. Simple. Also see Lene get with Bakari in this episode. Bakari's bringing her flowers. He apologizing. That's when Lene gets to ask her, are you apologizing for choosing the streets over me or for my brother's shooting? I was like, damn, that's tough, because him fucking with the streets is the reason why your brother's in the hospital. They're in a weird place right now, and that's before Lene even knows that he has anything to do with this shooting. Definitely do not see this relationship lasting, but y'all let me know what y'all think on that. We had two different conversations in this episode between Bakari and Nuck and Alicia and Tiff. We got Bakari telling Nuck, look, I was the one who told Alicia that Reg was responsible for Rob's shooting so that I could protect you. He tells him, look, I appreciate you doing that. I just need you to lay low and just mind your business. Don't go talking to no cop. Meanwhile, after Tiff has Nuck and Trig come over to her crib in order to set up this crib for her future baby, Alicia gets to trying to tell Tiff who she can and can't mess with. Now, I'm not advocating for Tiff to mess with Nuck, obviously. But at the same time, who are you to tell me who I can and can't mess with? Then Tiff got to capping talking about oh, Rob was the love of my life. I can't see myself messing with anybody else. Like, nobody who watches the show is buying that game. Not the fact that you didn't love Rob, but the fact that you gonna stay single for the rest of the series, let's be honest. And Alicia could see that shit was cap from a mile away, and she be getting baited at every corner. We get a conversation between Nuck and Tiff in this episode, and Nuck pulls out a blunt and lights it in front of a pregnant Tiff. Read the room. He basically tells her something along the lines of, I don't think I could be a good man. I don't think I could be redeemed. And she tells him anything is possible. That leads him to have a conversation with the pastor, where he says to him that he's, for the first time in his life, scared and doesn't know whether or not he should tell her the truth about the situation. I think you probably shouldn't, unless you want to die a quick and painful death. Let's get the pastor storyline in this episode, but I could really care less about that. I feel like the storyline would have held a lot more weight if his wife were still on the show, but now that she's gone, I could care less. I give this episode a 9 out of 10. It was really good. Definitely looking forward to the next episode that I think is the mid-season finale.